We are replowing some ground that we have already plowed tonight, and tomorrow we pick up speed again and we move pretty quickly, but I want to make sure that we're not losing anyone behind. I want to make sure that it's very, very clear, because we are the only ones that are putting it together that like this. And the mainstream media, no, the fringe media of Time Magazine and the Washington Post, because this is mainstream media now, they've got it wrong. And it's important that you carry the water on this and do your own homework on it. One more thing before we leave the first charge that Glenn is crazy for saying a caliphate is coming. I just showed you the CIA report and all these people who are asking for it, and all of this information is at glennbeck.com. Sign up for my free email newsletter. We'll send it right to you. But one more piece of evidence, and it was only on the Rush Limbaugh show today with the former Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld. Here's what he said today about a global caliphate. Listen carefully.
We are up against a vicious enemy. The radical Islamists are there. They intend to try to create a caliphate in this world and fundamentally alter the nature of nation states. And we're reluctant to engage in the competition of ideas and point out what they really are and how vicious they are.
That's what's happening here. These people are not willing to look at the reality and have an open dialogue. It's the same thing that happened when we said there's communists in the White House. They just brushed him out at night. No, have the dialogue. Which brings us to charge number 2. Charge number 2 is socialism, Islamic socialism and socialist communist working together, along with radical Islam. Now, I showed you how there are different groups uniting with Egypt on the principle of destroying capitalism. This is going to blow your mind. Destroy capitalism and the Western way of life, and how they are putting their end game differences aside to deal with it later, because the communists don't like, Iran's, they don't want to live under that, Sharia law, and people who want Sharia law don't want to live under communism. But they're taking advantage of an opportunity, and this is what critics apparently, for some reason, don't want you to look at. Watch this. This is the left.
Ending the Mubarak dictatorship is one of those steps in ending all of the countries that are under U.S. domination and serve the interests of the United States.
My comrades are rejecting the entrenched U.S.-backed regimes that have arrested them, that have tortured their families, that have stifled their inalienable rights to free speech and assembly.
The very same people who send tear gas to Egypt, who send tear gas to Mubarak, are the very same people who deny us the right to jobs, and the right to health, and the right to life and housing right here in the United States.
Okay, there's the radical left bashing the United States and saying, yes, our comrades in Egypt. Now, the problem is, it's capitalism. Now let me show you a trailer from a conference we talked about last night, but notice the name of this conference, the 2009 Khalifa Conference. Watch. Caliphate. The fall of capitalism and the rise of Islam. They're both uniting on the fall of capitalism and destabilization. One wants the rise of Islam. And again, the name of the conference in English is the Caliphate Conference. By the way, it was only in Illinois. So now let me ask you, if we compared what the people who are on the street in Chicago, Illinois, the socialists, and this, and you just took out the word Islam, which one was the radical extremist from Islam and which one was the radical communist? They're saying the same thing. It's hard to tell them apart. They're calling for the exact same thing. Back in a minute.